Dan here with Battlefield Curator. Looking for a lever action for your next range day? How about a lever action if you're just getting into cowboy action shooting? You got a few different options out there. You've got the well-known and quite sought-after Winchesters. You got Henrys, which are made in America. There's also Marlin firearms. And then you have the Italian stuff like Cimarron, which usually is going to be Umberti or it's going to be Pedersoli. What about Brazilian imported Rossis? Well, I went out and I got a few opinions from gun shop owners and asked them what customers think about Rossis. Here's what Ben at MB Defense Solutions had to say.
They're available right now. Like, my dealers have hundreds of them, and 44 Magnums, 57, all that. And they have different models. They got models that are clones of like the Marlin stuff with the loading gate. You have some that are clones of the Winchester action with the top eject, right? But the problem is because it's got the Rossi name on it. The last one I had was a 44 Magnum stainless. Beautiful gun. The action was buttery smooth, and it was all parts compatible with a Winchester 92. But then when I showed a customer to it, they're like, "Oh, this is great. What brand is it?" I tell them, "Oh, Rossi." They're like, "Never mind. If you want a lever gun right now and you're stuck on waiting on back-ordered Henrys and back-ordered Marlins from Ruger, get a Rossi because they're built to the same specification. The only problem is because they're made in Brazil. Come to Brazil. You know, there has a stigma against it, just like with Taurus and with like Brazilian-made FALs. Like, it's like lesser quality, which, yeah, duh. I mean, that's why it's cheaper. But if you want a lever gun, stop complaining, buy a Rossi, shoot it, enjoy it. But look at that. It's gorgeous. And the stainless finish on it is immaculate. Like, I've held this gun in person before. The fit and finish is great on it. And look, this has got the peephole sight of the pick rail. So you can still put an optic on this thing, even though it's a top eject gun. You know, the only downside is the safety, but the safety's nice because it's a disconnect, like a M9. So you can dry fire this thing safely if you have the safety on. It blocks the firing pin from moving forward. Comes with some leather there on the loop, some wrap. I mean, that's a nice gun for around 1100 MSRP. The sights, the threaded barrel, the large loop with some, you know, with a nice, it's not paracord wrap, I think it's leather. Rubber butt pad. Like I said, the stainless finish alone is nice. Yeah, the fact that it's a polished finish, it's not satin. Sure, it has with a little safety snub on the top of the bolt. That's kind of dumb. You can just leave that off. Hell, you can even do a delete and get it removed, take it to your gunsmith. You know, it's a bit of a non-issue, right? And the fact that you can get a good lever gun right now for $800 from Rossi, there's no excuse. I mean, you're really going to wait to pay like way over MSRP for the stainless 4570 Marlin that, you know, it was used in Jurassic World by Chris Pratt. Is like, okay, it's cool, but how long are you really going to wait to get that lever gun that you want? I like the Rossis. They're good quality. I've had them here in the store, but I don't carry them very often in stock, mainly because people will look at a beautiful polished stainless finish, right? And they're like, "Oh, yeah, let me see that." And then I take it off the shelf, I give it to them, they're like, "Oh, what brand is this?" "It's a Winchester." I'm like, "No, it's not, it's a Rossi." And they're like, "Oh, never mind, just because of the brand name." Okay, sure, it's made in Brazil. But it's literally the point. It's cheaper. And it's actually decent. If the guns were garbage, I'd tell you. All right, but they're not. They're actually really good. It's just there's a big stigma around them because of the brand name. So take a look at the Rossis. Check out some reviews. They get a lot of different models, different colors. And if you don't want to get the Rossis, if you want something more historically accurate, Cimarron, Uberti, Pieta, they all make like period correct lever guns, like 1873s. You can get it with a case hardened receiver, beautiful gun, but you are going to be paying like $1,100 to $1,200 for that gun. But if you want something modern, you know, lightweight, and possibly get the threaded barrel models, Rossi's a great option right now.
I talked to another owner of a gun-selling establishment, Michael Dollar at Dollar Pawn in Grovetown, Georgia. Shout out to Michael Dollar out there. He's been selling Rossi lever actions for years, and he's never had any customers complain about them. Rossi makes the R92, which is kind of like the Winchester 1892 that have different finishes and appearances. And they even have some that are more tactical looking. If you want to make your tactical Rossi R92 even more tactical, check out Ranger Point Precision. They've got different rail systems, different buttstocks. You can check them out and get some stuff to make your R92 look pretty snazzy. Now, I've talked to another gun shop owner, and she said that the Rossis are pretty good for customers that are looking for a low price point lever action. They will go in there looking for Rossis, and Rossis will sell throughout the year. Well, now, what do I think about the R92s? Well, I've got one myself, and I've let a few friends shoot it. It's a pretty awesome lever action. It's really smooth. Now, this one's a pre-safety. It looks like it has a brass receiver, but it's actually a gunmetal receiver. Wow. Yeah, that was dead on. Just accuracy, you know? Got him again, double tap. Yeah.
Who else? Who else we want to shoot?
There's two other steel targets in there.
Oh, I can't even see them.
Yeah.
Oh, now you should.
If you're looking for a basic lever action that you can take out to the range and plink with and just have some fun, you definitely want to check out a Rossi. Now, I'm not saying that some of these Rossis won't come with issues. There's always a possibility that any firearm you get is going to have issues. I have read up on some forums where they've had issues where people accidentally cut themselves because the metal wasn't smoothed out enough during the manufacturing process or when in the loading gate area. I read that there might have been some feeding issues with some models.
This one had a problem when we first got it. If you were bashing too quick, the empty plus the next round in line would fly out. So we just took it apart, did a little bit of work to it, found out might have been a problem with the magazine spring. Played with that, and it seemed to fix the problem. You can work and fire it as fast as you want to, and the live rounds stay where they were supposed to. I've had this one probably 8 years or so. It's a really nice one. Yeah, it's got a safety. It's not real well positioned, but if you know basic gun safety, lever actions don't really need one.
Now, from a historical aspect, these Rossis are made to look like Winchester 1892s. Do I like them because of that? Yes, I do like them because of that. But they're not exactly to 1892 spec. You can definitely tell that there's a difference between some of these new-made Rossis and the way that they made the old Winchester 1892s. Overall, I think that a Rossi R92 would probably suffice for most of what people would want a lever action for. It's at a really cheap price point compared to other lever actions, and they've got a few different variations of them as well as far as design goes, and even some that are tactical. So what are your thoughts on the Rossi R92? Are they worth it? Let me know in the comments section. And as always, be sure to learn history and curate history. Polarize the like button, subscribe if you haven't, make it a great day.